Now with Congressman Todd Rokita, Indiana delegate to the Republican convention, and the former Indiana Secretary of State. Congressman, good to see you.
Yeah, a big hi from Indiana, Arthel.
All right, a big hi back at you. Okay, so you are an Indiana delegate to the Republican convention. I mean, you've got to be rock star. How important does that make you at this juncture? And what would it take to make you endorse Trump, Kasich, or Cruz?
Well, I've pledged to be neutral up until the convention, and really I'm bound by the rules that we put in place here in Indiana to vote the state's popular vote on that first round at the convention. And then if there are subsequent rounds, what I intend to do is take information directly from the candidates and make a decision that's in the best interest of the state and country. And
yes or no, you have to vote in that first round, right, with the popular vote? You have to, correct?
That's correct, yeah. So there's really no choice, and so I'm not one that believes that a lot of folks would follow an endorsement anyway. So, I do agree with you, though. I've been out on the road all day today at different polling places and restaurants and libraries where people have been voting, and it is going to be close, and the turnout.
Why is that? Because I want to get, before we lose time here, I want to ask you, why is the Indiana race so tight? And you said you've been out there, so if you could, Congressman, break down the state in portions. What issues are important to northern Indiana and southern counties and so on.
Well, it's just the general direction of this country is what's bringing out, especially the Republicans. I'm originally from the northwest corner of the state, the most Democratic part of the state, and of course I'm a Republican, but usually in the absentee balloting up there, it's 4 Democrat ballots that are polled for every 1 Republican, and I just got word today that the ratio is actually 1-to-1. So the Republican turnout, even in the most Democratic parts of our state, is very, very heavy, and I think that bodes well, not only for the party and for the Republican nominee, but it shows that Hoosiers are very concerned about the direction of the country for the last 8 years.
And could you pinpoint it to one big issue? Is it the economy? What is it?
Well, it usually is the economy. Of course, it's jobs. It's also our debt. It's also the fact that this immigration situation is not solved in an equitable, reasonable way yet. And I think Hoosiers, we pride ourselves on our common sense, Arthel, and you see that common sense manifesting itself in turnout for this primary election.
So do you think there is that any of these candidates have a bit of an edge there in Indiana, and what would cause them to lose that edge?
Well, you mentioned at the beginning of this that I was a statewide office holder, and I've been through 2 statewide elections. I will tell you this, Ted Cruz is doing everything right. I mean, I joke when I say this, but it makes the point. Anytime 2 Republicans in this state are sitting down for lunch, there's Ted Cruz as the third wheel. I mean, he is everywhere. Donald Trump, on the other hand, is taking a much more airdrop approach. He's commanding tens of thousands of people at rallies, that's true, but he's coming in and then going out. Ted Cruz and his family, really. I saw Heidi Cruz at an event last. They are taking a much more grassroots approach, and in places like Indiana, that's noticed and appreciated. We're polite that way. In fact, in 2008, this state actually went for Barack Obama. Back when I was Secretary of State, Barack Obama, including Election Day in 2008, had been in this state 47 times. And so, we sobered up by the time 2012 came and went deep red. But the point is that people around here, we appreciate a grassroots campaign.
So you think Trump has a chance to come in there? Today's Saturday, come in tomorrow, Monday maybe?
Yeah, and he's doing that too, but it's much more of an airdrop kind of situation. But he's got the star power, and we're human here in Indiana, and star power affects us too. But I will say the reasons it's close to that poll that you mentioned is because Ted Cruz is really hitting the ground game, and then you got Donald Trump with his quote-unquote star power.
All right, well, I have to leave it there, Congressman, but in the event there is going to be this race is going to go beyond a first round at the convention, you should start thinking about what you might want to be swayed to somebody else's side.
I'll come back and report.
You got it. All right, Congressman Rokita, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
You bet.